Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the SH Figuarts Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine, and the Wolverine figure turned out to be a little bit better than I thought it was going to be, but still quite lacking in a lot of ways. And this Deadpool figure looked like it might be the better Deadpool figure to go with. Maybe not the best, but a good one, better than at least the last one they released. And in some ways it is. In some ways this is a really good figure. And then in other ways it's sorely lacking. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. It is a fine package, but just like Wolverine, the art right here is so much cooler looking than the figure. Really nice. It's not a photo of the Deadpool suit from the movie. It is a rendering of some sort, and it looks fantastic. Really good. Like, he's extra buff and his head's a little rounder. It looks nice, but it's not anything from the movie, but it does look good. And then you can see the figure back there. Photo on the side. We've done that photo a million times at this point. He's very pink on the box, like very pink in all of these photos. That's kind of unfortunate. Not the best assortment of photos on the back either, but if you're an inbox collector, you'll probably be looking at the front. And it does look nice. Alright, let's move on to the actual figure. This guy stands just about 6 1/4 inches. That's going to make him roughly 16 centimeters. Here he is up against Darwin. So you can definitely fit him in with your Marvel Legends if you wanted to. Here he is up against his counterpart. Is Ryan Reynolds taller than Hugh Jackman? Because the figure is. By just a touch. I don't know if that's the case. I know Hugh's tall for Wolverine, but I don't know. I thought he was taller than Ryan, actually. Either way, that's what he looks like. This guy is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store, by the way. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to get one. Question of the day, do you like the brighter red or the darker red? For me, I don't mind the brighter red, but this figure seems awfully pink. Like, it's not pink, but it's closer to pink than it should be, and because it's not muddied up at all, I think I would have just preferred the darker red from the first movie. The first two movies. But the bright red doesn't bother me in concept, just in execution. It's a problem with the bright colors. Like, I get that they were going for that, but it's really hard to translate that and not make it look goofy. So yeah, that's a thing. So let's talk about this guy. I have to say, the very first thing that's obvious and problematic for this figure is the chest strap. It's not a chest strap. They sculpted it on, and that pisses me off so much because holy crap does that make the figure look like crap. The belt is fixed to the body, the chest or the shoulder piece is fixed to the body, and this is not a real strap. I hate that with all of my being for a Figuarts figure. That's not something that any company should be doing. Marvel Legends, Figuarts, any of them, no. Put the strap on the figure, even if it limits articulation. This looks cheap as hell and ridiculous. Yeah, that really bothers me. The head shape seems a little bit off, just a touch. Like maybe there's too much top of the head, but otherwise it looks pretty good, I have to say. It's a nice looking figure other than the pinkness and the chest strap, so that's a good thing. And the other thing I have to say is both of these figures have a really nice matte finish and a lot of clothing texture on there, and they feel premium in that sense. They do look really nice. The matte finish goes a long way, but having that problem of the chest strap goes a long way in the other direction. The fine detail paintwork is clean and nice. You can see the belt looks good. You can see all that texturing in the clothing. The buckles and things are well done, but we do have that issue with the strap that really takes all the good stuff and throws it at least partly in the garbage, and that's really unfortunate. But otherwise, it's not bad. The silhouette's decent, especially once you pose him a little bit. It's not bad. I'm going to give him a 7. That chest strap goes so hard in knocking him down some points. That's really unfortunate. As far as accessories go, this guy is loaded. We've got all the different eye plates, which are a pain in the ass, but that's nice for functionality. We have the katanas that go on his back or in his hands. That's good. We have the knife that goes on his leg or in his hand. We have the 2 guns. We have the holsters for the guns that go on the hip strap thingies. What else do we have? We have head pool and a little clip for him. I don't love the way that looks clipping onto his arm, but whatever. Then you get a whole bunch of hands. More hands than you need, really. So I don't think there's anything else you could really need for this guy. Maybe some muzzle flashes or things like that, but it's a good spread. You know, I do think it would have been nice, instead of just getting a bunch of eye plates, to have different heads so you have actual expression like in the mouth area. rather than just the eyes, but I get it, so it's fine. I'll go 9 out of 10 for accessories. It's a pretty good spread. There's not a whole lot more they could have done. Now, as far as articulation goes, this guy is not unlike... Damn it, that's so annoying. These knives fall out so easily. He's not unlike Wolverine in that there's some good stuff, but other bad stuff. Head is on a double ball peg, neck is on a ball peg, so his head and neck just work wonderfully. That's a great thing. Love that. Shoulders are on a traditional style butterfly joint. There's a little bit of vertical movement, but not much. But basically a standard butterfly, and that's fine. It works well enough. The shoulders are standard ball hinges, but we have this cap here, which needed to be flexible, and 'tis not. 'Tis not. You can lift it up and try to flex it, but it does not flex really at all. So his shoulders are incredibly limited when going out to the side. Very unfortunate. That sucks. You do get your bicep swivel there. Double jointed elbow, nowhere near as bad as Wolverine. It's a fine enough elbow. It's all right. Ball hinges for the wrists are there. That's fine. They're a little bit loose. Diaphragm joint on this guy is hot garbage, just like Wolverine. It barely goes back. It barely goes forward. Goes side to side okay. It rotates a little bit. His chest shape is really weird. But here's the thing. For their double ball peg, they put a big old stopper in there. And Bandai's been doing that forever. They've used to do it on the Dragon Ball figures regularly for the hips. I think a lot of the Robot Damashi had things like that. I don't freaking get it. And it hurts the articulation significantly. So, very, very unfortunate. Maybe now that I free that top one up, I'll get a little bit more out of it. But yeah, that stopper is a problem. So if you wanted to, I'm not recommending this technically speaking, but if you wanted to, cutting that away might leave you better posability. But let's see if I can force it now that I've moved that top ball peg a little bit. Nope. Nope, he still has basically 0 range, so that sucks. The lower torso can't lean back at all, or side to side. It just leans forward with a hinge, which is like, why is Bandai into over-engineering lately? That's nuts. It doesn't even look good. Like, they added an extra piece there, but they didn't add the black part to it. So that looks... what the hell? And there's no waist twist, so it's only up here. So his torso's garbage. For the hips, they used a hard material for this also, just like the shoulder pieces. So this gets in the way. As soon as you try to move the leg out, you have to purposely and very carefully and still difficultly tuck that in. And then you can get the leg to work. But that's a real nuisance. Could have just been a soft material that you could easily tuck in. I feel like that's going to eventually break because it is not a flexible material, really. But you do get decent range out of the hip once you do that. I'm really concerned about that breaking. The leg does go up nicely, does go back well enough, for sure. There goes that knife again. Just falls off constantly. His crotch is a little cumbersome, that's what she said, but it does function pretty well. Thigh swivel is okay. Double jointed knee is a decent knee. It's not bad. They did a pretty good job with that. And then for the ankle, it's ridiculous. What the heck? Did they not know it was an action figure? Freaking sculpt it so that it works. What is this? It might as well not be articulated. Even the ball or the swivel to make it an ankle rocker is basically useless. The toe hinge, though, is really good. It's exactly the way I've been saying they need to do toe hinges. Takes up the whole thickness of the foot. It's in the right spot, and it's stiff enough so that works. But the ankle is garbage. Ridiculous garbage. The torso is ridiculous garbage. The shoulders don't work properly. This knife keeps falling out. A bunch of the joints are loose. His right leg is quite loose at the knee. Not like floppy loose, but too loose, and also at the hip. That's almost floppy. So his articulation on paper isn't the worst, but it's not good. He does have the wide hips. I'm going to give his articulation a 5 out of 10. For Figuarts, this is not good enough. The torso is ridiculous. The ankle is ridiculous. Other issues are annoying. The shoulders don't work. Yeah, it's not fun to handle this guy, really, as a result of the articulation being crap. But you can make it work. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not good. So time for the final verdict. I'm very pleased with the finish. For the bright colors, I think they did a good job. The texturing is nice. The matte finish is good. A lot of the detail work is pretty well done. I don't think it's acceptable to have the chest shaped the way it is or to have the harness as part of the sculpt. I do think the head is slightly off, but that wouldn't bother me if it wasn't for the other things. And then the articulation's just not good enough. So just like Wolverine, it's not a good figure. It's better than well, no, this one's not better. Wolverine was. This guy's not better than I thought he was going to be. He's worse. He's not terrible, but he's not very good, and Figuarts, Marvel Figuarts especially, are expensive, so I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. It's not an objectively very good figure. You could find enough value in it to get it and be happy with it. Like, the matte finish is nice. If you're going to just stick him on the shelf like this and never touch him again, just don't look at the chest and you'll be okay. But the benefits are really held back by the downsides, unfortunately, for both of these guys. It's pretty unfortunate, but like I said, if you don't look at the flaws, for Wolverine it'd be the face, for Deadpool it'd be the chest. They are nice in a lot of other ways, at least aesthetically, so I can see the draw, but high ratings they do not earn. So that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but I gotta go. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.